What makes a naval war film truly great? It is not just explosions or sweeping ocean shots. It is the feeling of steel tension when a crew waits in silence for a sonar ping. It is the grit of leadership, the terror of isolation, and the reality of courage under crushing pressure. Today we reveal 15 naval films Marine experts respect, and 2 they absolutely do not. Number 15, Greyhound, 2020. Greyhound surprised many naval officers because it delivered one of the most technically faithful portrayals of convoy escort duty during the Battle of the Atlantic. While modern in style, the film maintains an unwavering commitment to realism. Every maneuver, every sonar report, every tension-filled moment follows protocols that experts immediately recognized as authentic. The story focuses on Captain Krause leading his destroyer and its allied escorts through a dangerous stretch of ocean known as the Black Pit. This region left convoys exposed to packs of German submarines with no air support. Greyhound captures the relentless pace of this environment as Krause battles weather, fatigue, and a swarm of attacking U-boats. The film does not slow down for melodrama. Instead, it moves with the clipped precision of a real bridge team under pressure. Naval professionals especially appreciate the film's attention to communication style. Orders are spoken cleanly, repeated with accuracy, and executed with discipline that mirrors real escort operations. The radar and sonar stations behave according to documented procedure, and the destroyer's movements follow believable tactics. Even the film's tight runtime adds to the realism because escort duty offered little time for rest, reflection, or personal drama. Greyhound also stands out for its understanding of leadership. Captain Krause wrestles with doubt, faith, and the responsibility of protecting civilian ships while facing constant danger. His quiet moments of exhaustion feel true to the accounts of real captains who carried the weight of hundreds of lives during convoy missions. For many marine experts, Greyhound ranks among the most accurate depictions of Allied naval operations in the Atlantic. It proves that modern filmmaking can still honor historical truth while delivering gripping tension. Number 14, Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World, 2003. Although set in the Age of Sail, Master and Commander earns deep admiration from naval historians because of its meticulous reconstruction of life aboard a 19th century warship. Every rope, every creaking plank, every command screamed across the deck follows real seamanship practice. It is a film built on authenticity from bow to stern. The narrative follows Captain Jack Aubrey and his crew as they pursue a powerful French privateer across vast oceans. What makes this story so compelling is how it captures both the beauty and brutality of wooden ship warfare. Battles are loud, chaotic, and deeply physical. Cannons recoil with crushing force, splinters become deadly weapons, and every maneuver requires disciplined teamwork from dozens of sailors working in unison high above the deck or deep in the hold. Marine experts value how the film portrays daily life at sea. The cramped quarters, the constant maintenance, the delicate balance between authority and camaraderie. Officers and crew behave with a formality consistent with naval customs of the era. Even small details such as the surgeon's tools and the chart room instruments reflect painstaking historical research. The film also shows how leadership shapes survival. Captain Aubrey must balance bold action with careful judgment while his crew faces storms, hunger, enemy fire, and the vast loneliness of open water. The relationship between Aubrey and Dr. Maturin adds emotional depth grounded in mutual respect that mirrors real officer friendships recorded in naval journals. Master and Commander remains one of the most accurate and immersive depictions of Age of Sail warfare because it honors the disciplined seamanship and human resilience required to keep a warship alive in an unforgiving world. Marine experts consider it essential viewing for anyone seeking to understand naval history before the Age of Engines. Number 13, The Hunt for Red, October, 1990. The Hunt for Red October holds a unique place among naval war films because it blends Cold War intrigue with a confident understanding of submarine operations. Marine experts respect how the film depicts quiet running tactics, sonar engagement sequences, and the constant tension between detection and stealth. It presents submarine warfare as a psychological battle fought through sound patience and expert calculation, rather than flashy underwater heroics. The film follows Captain Marco Ramius as he attempts to defect with a cutting-edge Soviet submarine. His plan unfolds in a world of extreme secrecy where any mistake could trigger a global catastrophe. What makes the film resonate with naval specialists is how it portrays command decisions under immense pressure. Officers speak crisply, follow procedure, and react to danger with disciplined focus. The control rooms are alive with measured communication rather than chaotic shouting. This accuracy reflects real Cold War submarine culture, where calm thinking meant survival. Experts frequently praise the portrayal of America's Los Angeles-class submarine and the tactical dance between it and the Red October. The film respects real physics, turning radiated noise, engine signatures, and passive sonar detection into essential storytelling tools. Even the navigation and plotting scenes mirror documented naval methods. The human dimension adds depth without undermining accuracy. Captain Ramius carries the burden of betrayal, combined with the knowledge that one error could doom his crew. Jack Ryan bridges the gap between political tension and on-deck crisis as he attempts to convince skeptical officers of Ramius's intentions. The hunt for Red October remains admired for presenting submarine warfare with intelligence, authenticity, and measured tension. It offers cinematic suspense while still honoring the technical realities that govern life beneath the ocean's surface. Number 12. Battleship Potemkin, 1925. Battleship Potemkin stands as one of the most influential early naval films, yet it also commands respect from marine historians for its portrayal of sailor unrest, discipline, and mutiny aboard a warship in the early 20th century. Though filmed decades after the real event, its depiction of crew frustration, harsh conditions, and escalating conflict mirrors historical patterns recorded across multiple navies of the era. The film chronicles the revolt aboard the Russian battleship Potemkin as sailors rise against brutal treatment and negligent leadership. Marine experts appreciate how the movie captures the internal dynamics of naval life during a period marked by rigid hierarchy and limited communication between crew and officers. The daily routines, cramped quarters, and harsh demands placed on enlisted men reflect the documented realities of pre-revolution naval service. While the film employs a stylized visual approach, its representation of shipboard discipline and the chain of command remains grounded in truth. The mutiny unfolds with a sense of inevitability rather than sensationalism. The tension builds through small acts of defiance, whispered conversations, and the growing bond among sailors who share both suffering and hope for change. Naval historians often note that this progression mirrors real-life mutinies where human pressure builds slowly until the structure of authority finally fractures. Battleship Potemkin also presents the emotional weight of collective action. The crew's struggle is portrayed not as an explosion of violence, but as a desperate demand for dignity and survival. Experts respect the film for showing how quickly order can collapse aboard a warship when leadership fails to maintain trust and discipline. Though nearly a century old, the film continues to hold value as a study in naval psychology, group behavior, and the delicate balance required to keep a crew unified at sea. Number 11. Tora, 1970. Tora earns admiration from naval aviation experts for its near-documentary approach to the attack on Pearl Harbor. Instead of relying on dramatic embellishment, the film commits to precision, showing planning mistakes, miscommunication, and tactical execution from both American and Japanese perspectives. Historians often praise it as one of the most honest portrayals of naval air warfare ever created. The film reconstructs the lead-up to the attack through extensive attention to detail. Ships' aircraft and base structures mirror historical records with impressive accuracy. Marine specialists note how faithfully the film depicts the organization of Japanese carrier operations, including flight deck procedures, timing sequences, and coordinated attack waves. The aerial formations demonstrate correct spacing, altitude control, and attack vectors used during the real assault. On the American side, Tora presents the confusion that gripped Pearl Harbor on the morning of the attack. The film shows officers piecing together scattered intelligence reports and struggling to interpret signals that would only make sense in hindsight. This respectful treatment of human error is one reason military historians continue to endorse the film. The battle scenes themselves stand out for avoiding exaggerated maneuvers or impossible stunts. Aircraft move with realistic limitations, and ship responses follow documented reactions rather than Hollywood spectacle. Even the explosions and damage patterns were designed to mirror real naval vulnerabilities. Tora remains respected because it demonstrates that accuracy can be as powerful as action. By presenting events with dignity and historical clarity, the film honors the sailors and aviators who lived through one of the most defining moments in naval warfare. Number 10. The Cruel Sea, 1953. The Cruel Sea holds a special place among marine experts because it captures not only the operations of escort vessels during the Battle of the Atlantic, but also the emotional toll placed on the men who fought an invisible enemy. Rather than focusing on glory, the film presents the exhausting grind of long patrols, relentless storms, and constant U-boat threats that shape the lives of real sailors. The story follows Commander Erickson and the crew of the Compass Rose as they escort merchant convoys through dangerous waters. Marine specialists appreciate the film's fidelity to real escort procedures. Orders are delivered with precision. Sonar discipline is treated seriously, and the ship maneuvers with believable weight. The tense sonar sequences mirror historical accounts from destroyer escorts that spent hours tracking faint contacts, while knowing a single error could cost lives. One of the film's most respected elements is its honest portrayal of moral burden. Commander Erickson faces moments where he must make impossible decisions under pressure, including scenes where depth charge attacks might endanger survivors in the water. This focus on human responsibility echoes the real experiences of officers who fought the U-boat menace. The Cruel Sea also highlights the camaraderie forged under constant danger. The crew endures fear, fatigue, and loss, yet remains bound together by duty. Naval historians value how the film underscores the emotional strain of anti-submarine warfare, which involve long periods of tension, interrupted by brief flashes of terrifying action. Because of its commitment to truth, The Cruel Sea is still recommended viewing at naval institutions. It remains one of the finest portrayals of what escort sailors truly faced in the cold, unforgiving Atlantic. Number 9. Run Silent, Run Deep, 1958. Run Silent, Run Deep commands deep respect from marine specialists because it portrays submarine warfare with an understanding of the patience, discipline, and razor-edge tension that shaped real underwater combat. The film is grounded in the tactical methods documented during the Pacific Campaign. It presents submarine command not as a place for impulsive heroics, but as an arena where every decision could mean either survival or annihilation. The story centers on Commander Richardson, a seasoned officer obsessed with destroying a specific Japanese destroyer responsible for sinking his previous vessel. His determination creates conflict within the crew, especially with Lieutenant Bledsoe, who questions Richardson's relentless focus and unconventional tactics. Naval historians appreciate how this tension mirrors real conflicts aboard wartime submarines, where younger officers sometimes challenge the methods of hardened veterans. Run Silent, Run Deep excels in its depiction of submarine operations. Torpedo launches follow authentic procedures. Diving commands reflect real-life communication structure. And the film respects the physics of underwater motion. The claustrophobic sets mirror the tight quarters inside wartime submarines, creating a sense of confinement that resonates with those who have served below the surface. Marine experts value the film's ability to convey the psychological stress placed on commanders who carried the lives of their crew with every order. The film avoids melodramatic shortcuts, instead presenting leadership as a complex burden where personal motives can collide with professional duty. This approach elevates the story beyond simple conflict and transforms it into a study of responsibility and sacrifice. For many naval professionals, Run Silent, Run Deep remains one of the most accurate dramatizations of submarine life during the Pacific War. Its blend of realism, tension, and character depth continues to earn admiration across generations. Number 8. Midway, 2019. The 2019 version of Midway gained unexpected respect from naval aviation experts because it presented the Battle of Midway with both cinematic flair and a strong commitment to historical accuracy. Although it uses modern visual effects, the film's tactical sequences, equipment details, and overall timeline closely align with documented accounts from the battle that changed the course of the Pacific War. The film follows American dive bomber pilots, intelligence officers, and naval commanders as they face overwhelming odds against the Japanese fleet. Marine specialists appreciate how the film accurately portrays the importance of signals intelligence in shaping the battle's outcome. Scenes depicting code-breaking operations reflect real breakthroughs achieved by Station Hypo, and the movie highlights how informed guesswork and determination contributed to American success. Naval aviators praise the realistic depiction of dive-bombing tactics. Aircraft approach angles, formation spacing, and attack sequences mirror the real limitations faced by dauntless pilots. The tension-filled moments as they descend into heavy anti-aircraft fire capture the courage required to strike enemy carriers directly. The film also earns respect for its portrayal of command-level decisions. Admirals Nimitz, Fletcher, and Spruance are shown making rapid judgments based on incomplete information. Their actions reflect the documented uncertainties of the battle and the constant risk of losing entire fleets. Midway stands out among modern war films because it honors historical truth while still delivering emotional weight. Marine experts often recommend the film to viewers who want a digestible yet accurate introduction to one of the most decisive naval engagements ever fought. Number 7. In Harm's Way, 1965. In Harm's Way holds a respected place among naval officers because it explores not only the tactical demands of naval warfare, but also the burdens placed on commanders who must make life-altering decisions during times of crisis. The film spans from the early chaos of Pearl Harbor to the intense island campaigns that followed, highlighting both battlefield tension and the human costs of leadership. The story centers on Captain Rock Torrey, a seasoned officer who faces both professional challenges and personal turmoil while navigating the uncertainties of war. Marine experts appreciate how the film treats command responsibility with gravity. Torrey's decisions carry real consequences, and his willingness to assume risk reflects the difficult choices faced by many officers in the Pacific Theater. In Harm's Way excels at presenting naval operations with methodical detail. Ship maneuvers follow logical patterns, communication protocols align with documented procedures, and tactical planning scenes feel authentic rather than theatrical. The film portrays the steady rhythm of wartime command, including long stretches of tension broken by sudden bursts of action. The human drama does not overshadow the technical accuracy. Instead, it enhances the film's portrayal of leadership. Officers struggle with duty family loss and the weight of command. These emotional conflicts mirror real accounts from naval journals, letters, and historical interviews. Marine experts respect In Harm's Way because it captures the moral and emotional challenges experienced by naval leaders. It demonstrates that war is not simply a matter of strategy and firepower, but also of character judgment and resilience. The film remains a powerful reminder that those who command fleets also carry the heavy burden of human lives and national hopes. Number 6. The Caine Mutiny, 1954. The Caine Mutiny is not a traditional naval battle film, yet it earns respect from Marine specialists for its penetrating study of command stress, shipboard psychology, and the fragile balance of authority aboard a warship, rather than focusing on torpedoes or battles. The film explores the invisible forces that shape discipline, trust, and responsibility. The story follows the officers of the USS Caine as they gradually lose confidence in their captain, Lieutenant Commander Queeg. His increasingly erratic behavior pushes the crew toward a desperate action during a violent storm, leading to a mutiny that forces them to confront the legality and morality of their choices. Marine experts respect the film because it captures how leadership failure can become just as dangerous as enemy fire. The courtroom sequences present a rare and accurate look into naval justice. The questions raised about mental fitness, duty, and loyalty reflect issues that have challenged real naval officers for decades. Officers must balance obedience with moral judgment, and the film handles this tension with subtlety rather than sensationalism. Experts also appreciate the film's depiction of how stress can unravel even a seasoned commander. Queeg is not a caricature. Instead, he is portrayed as a flawed officer struggling under pressure. This complexity mirrors real-world cases where command decisions were clouded by fear, exhaustion, or deteriorating mental health. The Caine Mutiny remains respected for exposing the emotional and psychological burden carried by naval leaders. It demonstrates that warfare is not only fought on open seas, but also within the hearts and minds of the officers responsible for maintaining order. Number 5. The Bedford Incident, 1965. The Bedford Incident stands out among Cold War naval films because it captures the suffocating tension that defined the era when cruisers, destroyers, and submarines shadowed each other across the ocean, with the threat of nuclear war hanging over every decision. Marine experts appreciate how the film presents command pressure in a world where a single mistake could ignite global catastrophe. The story follows Captain Finlander, an uncompromising officer obsessed with hunting a Soviet submarine. His rigid leadership style creates a shipboard atmosphere filled with fear, discipline, and mounting anxiety. Historians emphasize that this depiction reflects real Cold War concerns, where aggressive commanders sometimes push their crews to dangerous limits. The film explores how such leadership could escalate routine patrols into potential flashpoints. The Bedford Incident excels in its portrayal of procedure, communication, and tactical maneuvering between surface ships and submarines. The cat and mouse, pacing mirrors documented Soviet and NATO encounters where both sides tested each other's resolve without crossing the line into open conflict. Sonar tracking sequences are handled with technical respect, showing authentic operator behavior and credible engagement tactics. What marine experts admire most is the film's chilling final act, which demonstrates how misinterpretation and psychological pressure can lead to disaster. The ending serves as a stark warning about the human element in naval command, reminding viewers that even highly trained crews are vulnerable to fear, exhaustion, and rigid authority. The Bedford Incident is respected because it does not exaggerate the threat of the Cold War. Instead, it presents a realistic scenario grounded in the tense geopolitical landscape of the era. It stands as a powerful portrayal of how dangerously thin the line was between routine patrol and global tragedy. Number 4. Sink the Bismarck, 1960. Sink the Bismarck earns strong respect from naval historians because it presents one of the most dramatic naval hunts in modern history, with clarity, discipline, and procedural accuracy. Rather than overwhelming viewers with spectacle, the film focuses on intelligence work, command decisions, and the meticulous coordination required to track the most feared battleship of its era. The story follows the British Admiralty as it attempts to locate and destroy the German battleship Bismarck. Marine experts appreciate how the film depicts naval strategy with methodical detail. Intelligence officers evaluate reports from aircraft, ships, and intercepted signals. Commanders must weigh incomplete information against the deadly risks posed by the enemy ship. This commitment to accuracy mirrors historical documents and first-hand accounts from the actual pursuit. The film stands out for its respectful portrayal of communication discipline. Orders flow through the Admiralty and across multiple ships with clear structure, reflecting real naval protocol. Engagements between battleships and cruisers follow realistic gunnery patterns, including salvo timing and range adjustments that align with naval doctrine. Experts also value how the film presents the emotional strain experienced by officers responsible for sending sailors into danger. The fear of losing another major ship echoes the real anxiety that haunted the British fleet after earlier losses in the war. Sink the Bismarck remains respected because it treats naval warfare as a complex combination of intelligence, strategy, and courage. It honors the sailors who pursued the Bismarck across treacherous seas while capturing the real weight of decisions made far from the battlefield. Number 3. Admiral, 2015. Admiral, also known as Michel de Ruyter, has gained admiration from naval historians for its grand yet accurate portrayal of 17th century naval warfare. The film brings to life the age-of-line of battle tactics, massive fleets, and the disciplined seamanship required to command wooden warships during a period of intense European conflict. The narrative follows Dutch Admiral Michel de Ruyter, whose leadership and tactical brilliance shaped the maritime power of the Netherlands. Marine experts respect how the film presents naval battles. With attention to real age of sail strategy, ships maneuver in coordinated formations rather than chaotic melees. Broadside exchanges follow historical gunnery patterns, and command signals reflect the limitations of communicating across smoke-filled waters. The film captures the brutal beauty of naval combat. Cannon fire rips through hulls, rigging crashes from shattered masts, and crews struggle to keep their ships afloat amid roaring flames and splintered wood. These details reflect documented accounts from naval chronicles which describe battles as thunderous, suffocating, and physically overwhelming. Experts appreciate the film's commitment to historical context. De Ruyter's political challenges, alliances, and rivalries are portrayed with depth, showing how naval strategy was shaped not only by winds and cannons, but also by the ambitions of nations and rulers. Admiral stands among the most respected depictions of 17th century sea warfare because it honors both the grand scale of the battles and the human leadership required to win them. It remains a valuable cinematic window into an era where naval power shaped the fate of nations. Number 2. The Enemy Below, 1957. The Enemy Below maintains its position as one of the most respected naval films because it demonstrates a masterful understanding of anti-submarine warfare. This entry appears again in the upper rankings because marine experts consistently highlight its technical accuracy, disciplined tension, and balanced portrayal of both Allied and German crews. It remains a benchmark in the study of tactical maneuvering between surface ships and submarines. The story pits the American destroyer escort USS Haynes against a German U-boat commanded by a veteran captain. The respect shown between the two leaders makes the film stand out. Rather than demonizing either side, the film presents officers who are skilled, thoughtful, and driven by duty. This humanistic approach echoes real accounts from wartime diaries where soldiers recognize the professionalism of their enemies. Marine experts appreciate how the film treats sonar tracking as a battle of wits. Operators listen to faint vibrations. Captains weigh risks against opportunities. And depth charge patterns are deployed with tactical reasoning. The cautious pacing mirrors real anti-submarine engagements where minutes felt like hours and survival depended on maintaining discipline under pressure. The Enemy Below is respected because it understands that naval warfare is not simply about firepower. It is about psychology, patience, and the clarity of leadership. Its legacy endures because it captures the very essence of naval strategy, where the ocean becomes both battlefield and adversary. Number 1. Das Boot, 1981. Das Boot takes the top position because it remains the most definitive cinematic representation of submarine warfare ever created. Marine experts across nations agree that no film has matched its combination of technical realism, emotional depth, and atmospheric precision. It is more than a movie. It is an experience that immerses viewers in the claustrophobic world of U-boat crews. The narrative follows a German submarine and its young war correspondent as they endure storms, Allied patrols, mechanical failures, and the crushing psychological weight of constant danger. Naval historians respect how the film portrays the daily routines of a submarine with near-documentary accuracy. Torpedoes are loaded with authentic procedures. Ballast operations follow real technical sequences, and the crew's movements reflect the cramped reality of life in a metal tube beneath the sea. Experts praise the film's ability to capture emotional truth. The crew shifts between boredom, terror, exhaustion, and fleeting moments of camaraderie. The oppressive atmosphere of the submarine, enhanced by dim lights and echoing machinery, mirrors descriptions from real U-boat veterans. Das Boot also treats warfare with unflinching honesty. Victories feel hollow, failures feel inevitable, and even survival brings no triumph. This approach resonates deeply with marine historians who value accuracy over glorification. Decades after its release, Das Boot remains the standard against which all submarine films are measured. It earns respect because it honors the humanity of sailors while acknowledging the brutal realities of underwater warfare. Number 2. Not Respected, U-571, 2000. Marine experts almost unanimously dismiss U-571 because it presents a historically inaccurate narrative that erases the real contributions of the British Royal Navy in capturing German Enigma encryption materials. The film attributes the operation to American forces, even though the true event was carried out by British sailors who risked their lives in the line of duty. Beyond the historical distortion, the film suffers from numerous tactical and procedural inaccuracies. Submarine interiors are exaggerated for dramatic effect. Crew behavior often contradicts real naval discipline, and key operations such as boarding actions and torpedo engagements are depicted with little regard for documented practice. Experts often point out that the film depicts unrealistic diving maneuvers and implausible moments of mechanical failure that would have crippled any real submarine. Naval professionals criticize the film because it turns a significant moment in wartime, code-breaking, into a fictionalized spectacle. It overlooks the painstaking intelligence work that shaped Allied victory in the Battle of the Atlantic, and it diminishes the sacrifices made by real sailors. Although U-571 was created for entertainment, Marine experts do not respect it because it misrepresents history and ignores the technical truths of submarine warfare. It serves as a lesson in how accuracy matters when depicting real events that shaped global conflict. Number 1. Not respected, Pearl Harbor. 2001. Pearl Harbor is widely regarded by marine historians and naval aviation experts as one of the least accurate portrayals of a major naval event ever produced. Although visually ambitious, the film sacrifices realism for melodrama, turning the attack on Pearl Harbor into a backdrop for a fictional love story while distorting key aspects of naval history. Experts criticize the film for its inaccurate ship models, improbable aircraft maneuvers, and choreographed battle scenes that ignore physics and documented tactics. Japanese torpedo bombers fly in ways that no real pilot could execute. American fighters perform impossible stunts, and ship damage patterns are exaggerated beyond recognition. These distortions undermine the gravity of the real attack, which claimed thousands of lives and reshaped world history. The film also portrays American command responses in ways that conflict with historical timelines. Decisions are simplified, communication failures are dramatized, and heroic moments are inserted at the expense of truth. Marine specialists argue that this approach diminishes the bravery of the real sailors who fought and suffered during the attack. Pearl Harbor is not respected because it turns a solemn historical event into a romantic spectacle. It fails to honor the technical accuracy, discipline, and emotional truth that define great naval films. For experts, it represents a missed opportunity to present one of the most important moments in naval warfare with the respect it deserves. The ocean has always tested the strength of ships and the courage of those who served upon them. These films reveal the truth behind that struggle. Some honor real history, others twist it, but every story teaches us something. Stay curious, explore deeper, and join us for more untold battles at sea.